Hi there, welcome here. My name is Jade and this is the year 2020. I didn't really make a plan about what I wanted to talk about in this video, so apologies in advance if it's a little rambly. Fun thing I just did was I went back and watched a video with my 2019 goals and intentions. Let's just say that was a hot mess. So in this video that I'm referring to, don't feel like you need to go watch it. Just maybe don't go watch it ever. But in this video, I sat in this spot a year ago and I said, I don't believe in resolutions. And then I proceeded to use the rest of the video to talk about the resolutions I wanted to make. Google defines resolution as a firm decision to do or not to do something. Sure, we can call these resolutions. Just because you make a decision to do something, whether or not that decision is firm doesn't mean it's going to happen. Making a decision is based on one thing and then the outcome of that decision is something totally different. So, sure, we can call these resolutions if you want to. We can call them decisions. We can call them whatever. But I'm going to talk about what I want to see happen this year in 2020. I would love to continue this journey of being healthy and taking care of myself this year. If one major thing has changed from my video about 2019, all of the things I said I was going to do were like soft definitions. Like, this is something I want to do, but there was no real quantifiable solution behind it. And if I've learned anything about myself over the past year, it's that I need quantifiable goals to achieve them. So I can't just say, oh, I want to do this. What I need to do is say, I will do this by April 1st and set that deadline for myself. That way I can go and say, here are the things I need to do in January, February, March to make it happen by April 1st. This past year, I also started keeping a bullet journal. I honestly don't understand how it took me so long to get on board with these because it's kind of the combination of two of my biggest passions, organization and trying to be creative. This is the cover I made for my 2020 bullet journal. This is not going to be able to contain all of 2020. It will probably contain the first 4 months or so, but here's my journal for the beginning of 2020. The thing about bullet journaling for me is that it is a tangible, visible way to see what I want to do, and that way when I get it done, I can take time, check it off, mark it out, and see that I've accomplished something that I wanted to get done. Something that I actually need to accomplish things. Out of my family, I was always the best student because I knew how to organize a planner. I could mark things down when things were due, see when they were due, do them, turn them in on time, and always do well. Finished high school with a 3.7 and college with a 3.3 because I was organized, not because I was smart. Ever since I graduated college and then left teaching, I feel like teaching was another way that I stayed organized, but that was my job. It wasn't something I did in my personal life. My personal life has always kind of been set to the side with things like organization because I've never prioritized my personal life. I've always prioritized getting things done in like academic and then professional world. But I haven't been a teacher since the spring of 2017 is when I left, and there was definitely some time between then and now that I kind of just let slip by without anything happening. I mean, obviously I grew, birthed, and have been raising this beautiful child, but when it comes to personal accomplishments, other than being a good mom, things have kind of slipped to the wayside. And last year I definitely did a good job of starting to take care of myself and making taking care of myself a priority, but I want to continue that into the new year. That's where the bullet journal comes in. Like, this first page is just the year at a glance and important dates, and that way I can mark them down as people start talking about them and I don't lose track of important things. These are just fun pages. A way to keep up with the books I read and the movies that Chase and I watched together. So I started bullet journaling in October, and I started one of these and I called it, you know, it was the last quarter of the year, and I filled out that whole journal. There were definitely some missing pages I tore out because sometimes I care too much about how they look, so that's why I think this one will last me 4 months instead. But that's definitely something I'm going to enjoy looking back at, and just like, it's a nice tangible way to chronicle things I've done. I have a page for video ideas. I have a page for my 2020 goals, and this is what I wanted to kind of share. A few things that I tangibly, physically, quantifiably want to accomplish this year. The first thing I put on here was our first family vacation. We haven't gone on a trip like at all since Isaac was born. We haven't stayed overnight in a hotel. Nothing. We stay in our house, we do things in our area, so we can always come home and sleep in our beds. And while that's really nice, I also want to leave this house sometimes. I need to get out. So even if that's just like a long weekend trip somewhere close by, I want to have that experience as a family for the first time this year. A few things that we have on our calendar to pay off are my car. My car is going to be paid off by May. Isaac's hospital bill. You might be saying, isn't Isaac going to be 2 next month? Yes, he is. Yeah, we are still paying off his hospital bill. American Healthcare. Hospital bill will be paid off this year, as well as our couches, which we financed. I plan to throw Isaac a killer birthday party next month. I've already got the theme and most of the decorations. More on that later. I want to read 26 or more books. That math is simply, I want to read a book every 2 weeks, which I really do now, especially these past few months. I downloaded my library's audiobook app. I listen to it while I'm at the gym or running or whatever. Being able to like ingest content that I care about and that I want to hear, like, makes such a difference, especially because I hang out with a 2-year-old all day. He's the best, but he and I have different tastes in media sometimes, and I just want to read books that I enjoy. The only problem is my library's app is kind of limited, so one of my goals that I'm going to write down and get done, hopefully, let's say by the end of February, is I want to go to the public library in Baton Rouge and sign up for an account there, because they have a much, much larger library of audiobooks. So that's another thing. 26 books isn't going to be a challenge. I just want to be able to have that number to see where I am. I want to get some family photos taken. I want to go on 6+ date nights. I haven't actually talked to Chase about this, but that would be a date night at least once every 2 months. I think that's doable. There are people who will watch Isaac and want to watch him. I don't ever think to sit down and make a plan and say, hey, let's do this on this day. Let's call this person to see if they can watch Isaac. The last thing I have written down so far is just to continue to take care of myself. I think that this year I've proven I can do that, and that by writing things down and seeing them, I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. Another thing I want to try to accomplish this year, which might just be the trendy part of me talking, is I want to try and do at least 4 30-day challenges. That would be 1 every 3 months. I also want to try and document them here. I have 2 ideas so far that I know I want to do. I have lots of other ideas I'm not sure about yet. I know for this coming month in January, I want to do something I've been doing personally but haven't actually written down, which is to take 10,000 steps every day for 30 days. I've done a pretty good job of this in December. I've probably hit about 20 out of 30 days so far, and all of that kind of falls back onto being intentional with my time. I tend to let time slip away when I'm not focused. When I don't have something to look at, I just can get lost of the stream of consciousness of life and kind of find myself swiping through Facebook or Instagram or Reddit or whatever is in my hand at the time. Time slips away. I found this year that if I want to make something a priority, I can. So I want to sit down, find things I want to prioritize, and make them important again. Make them tangible, make them a part of my physical life, not just my mental life. Take tracking water, for example. I can think all day about how much I want to keep up my water intake. I can think about the number of ounces. I can think about what bottle I can put them in to get it done. I can think about it all day, but until I stand up, walk to the refrigerator, and fill up my water bottle, nothing happens. Like I said, this video got a bit rambly, but all I'm saying is I want to be intentional with how I spend my time. If I sit down on the couch to watch a movie with my husband, that's what I want to be doing. I want to be all in, and even if maybe that's a waste of time to some people, I want to be invested in the thing I'm doing. Hopefully I can look at this video at the end of 2020 and not be laughably embarrassed at what I've said in it. But that's all I've got for today. If you guys have any New Year's resolutions or any goals for the following year, make sure you drop a comment down below to let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.